Stone Paxton Productions, Stone Paxton University. I'm back again, but as promised, I said I was going to come back and do a tutorial on how I use Fader 1 and Console 1 together, how I've been using, Console 1 on some of the projects that I use it on, as far as the records that I put out and the projects that are coming out. So let me get started and we'll go to Fader 1 and Console 1 and I'll show you how I use it, okay? Okay, you guys. So we're going to go over how I use Console 1, okay? Okay, we're going to go over how I use Console 1. And, I have this record that I'm working on and I'm kind of hoarse. So excuse me, you guys, but I'm working on my new album for 2020. And this is a song that's going to be on the current album that's going to be coming out in 2020. But this is a single that I'm going to be putting out. And, I use the Console 1. I've used the Console 1 on all of my records that I put out, especially the one that's out now, In the Key of Love. And I just kind of want to go over some of the things that I use it for and how I use it. And being that I have the Fader 1 now, it's kind of cool because it allows me to get in and to focus on just utilizing the actual Fader channel as opposed to me touching, right here, touching the Console 1. Now I can actually have my Fader channel, and then I can still dip in here and mess with my EQ, which, I love that. The fact that I can do that, you know what I mean? So this allows me to be able to have that same feel I had before when I used to always use mixing consoles. I was trained on the SSL E4000, so I'm used to having a mixer in front of me. Now, there's nothing wrong with the Slate touchscreen. I love the touchscreen, but sometimes I don't want to reach out and touch it. Fader 1 is absolutely perfect for what I'm trying to do and what I need to do. And for me to be able to really get in there and feel like I'm back at the driver's seat, in the driver's seat. And I'm driving that car the way I want. So this is absolutely beautiful. Softtube coming out with this console, the Console 1 and the Fader 1. But the Fader 1 just really, really completes it for me. I'm actually going to add another one so I can have two on both sides, and then my precision buttons to be able to really detail, fine tune, and get in there and tweak my EQ. That will be in the middle. But let's kind of get started and kind of show you what I do. So what I'm doing is on all of my channels, I always put the Console 1, of course, like they tell you, you should. I put it on all of my channels. Right now, I'm focusing on the kick. So let's see what we have here. The kick drum. This song is called Happy People. Like I said, it's going to be a single on my new album. And as you can see, I have the SSL XL9000 K-Series EQ on here. And I'm not going to get into too deep detail about how I do my EQs and things like that. Because really, I'm old school, man. I do things by the ear. I do it by the feel, because when it feels right, then I know it's right. I don't get into the logic of the numbers, although I can do that. I'll boost and cut in certain areas, you know what I mean, where it needs to be. But most of all, I mean, you could look at my EQ, but you can hear my records. And sometimes, the textbook way that they say things should be done, I've broken those rules and I've done things the opposite way because my ear and my emotion has told me that the mix felt good, you know what I mean, to my ears and to just the way that it sounds to me and the way it moves me, okay? So I have the 9000 on all the channels. Of course, this is on the kick channel. And what I do like about the Fader 1 is, I could go into the high and just cut all the high out of this if I wanted to. Let's see, hold on. That gives it a cool, to me, I like character to certain things. And to me, it had a little bit of a little high end right there, but it had a little bit of air in it too. But I like taking that out sometimes. Depending on what I'm looking for, I'll take that out. I'll pull it out. I'll pull all the highs out on my kick, and I'll just kind of have it. It still has a little thump to it, but you just don't hear any sort of high end on the kick. Of course, I bring it back. You hear it. This is what I love about Fader 1, man. It's just so cool. If you don't want to use the precision EQ and you just want to get in there and mess with the highs and the lows. Okay, let's mess with the high now. See, you want to get in there and create some sort of effect with the kick, maybe in a certain area of the song. You can actually automate this to do that. So it just gives you some cool options besides using the precision EQ section. You could just get in here and do some cool things, you know. Now you have multiple windows. Let me take that back again. Pull that back up again. Give it the body. Okay, we're back to the body. Okay, so I have no idea why. So for those that are going to ask me, how come my screen isn't blue? It's weird because sometimes when I open the software, it's blue, and then there's times where it's not blue. I don't know. Maybe someone at Softtube can explain to me why it does that, because what I'm seeing from everyone else, I'm seeing, you know, the color of the sends and the pans in the Fader 1 window are blue. So hey, who knows? Maybe it's just acting weird with me. But okay, so that's the kick, you guys. Nothing special, like I said. I'm just intrigued by what Softtube has done with the Fader 1. What I do like also too is the fact that I can add drive. Let me go back real quick, you guys. Sorry. Let's go back to that screen again. Okay, hold on. Okay, so I could add drive. Hold on. Okay, I can add the drive right here. Although I don't quite hear the drive. Oh, it's not even activating the drive for some weird reason. Okay. Make sure I'm on the right channel. Okay, let's find that kick again. Let's see. There we go. Now there's the kick again. We're gonna try this drive again. The character. Let's try the character. And okay, there we go. There we go. Now it's working like it should. So what I like is to be able to go back and forth and mess with the character and the drive without touching the character and drive button on the console 1. I can just kind of go over here and tweak it. And there's times where I like to mess with it on this side. It's convenient if I'm just using my faders and I don't want to switch over to the character and utilize the faders. I can still utilize it to my right. Okay. Let's go back. Let's go to drive. Oh yeah, there we go. We hear the drive now. You know, and the cool part about Fader 1 is the whole point in Fader 1 and console 1 is to give you that, the whole essence of using the analog hardware like we used to do back in the 80s, in the 90s. You know, like I said, I was trained on the E4000 and the 9000, and I was sitting in front of the console, and it had a certain character to it. And it's something about being able to have that element in your mix. You know, everybody talks about they don't hear a difference in a analog mix versus a digital mix, but I beg to differ, because I'll tell you, if you ever sum your mix through analog, you will definitely hear a difference. I mean, it's like night and day. But what's interesting about Softtube is I've cut a lot of records on this, and being that I've worked on the E4000 and the 9000, it sounds so good. I've had engineers hit me up and ask me, what did I mix my In the Key of Love album on? And I said, oh, I use the Softtube, you know, XL 9000, the Softtube console with the plugin. And I tell you, you know, I have no idea what Softtube did as far as how they modeled it. I know they got together with SSL to do this, and they did a great job. But it's been really hard for me to tell with my ears. I mean, you do hear a difference, but not much of a difference where you would be like, it's a deal breaker, if not to use it. You know, if you're like, should I use it or not? Should I use analog, a real analog console, or should I use the Softtube? I would have to say, you can place your bets on the Softtube Fader 1 and Console 1 because it's incredible. I mean, my mixes are very, very punchy. My mixes are clear, and they have depth. And it's like having a 3D mix. It's just like it would sound when I would mix it on the 9000 or the E4000. I'm very happy with it. But what I've been doing lately is I've tried something new. I've taken my SSL XL Logic X-Rack, and I've taken I sum out my stems, and then I'll bring it into my DAW, and I will mix it with the Console 1 and Fader 1. And so I'll put it on every channel just like they tell you to do. After summing it, and it's very interesting what I'm getting, combining those two together. It's just been really incredible, you guys. So anyway, that's the kick. There's not much we can go over. I just kind of want to show you how I use this. Like I said, I'm not going to get into any deep detail because I kind of don't like to show, oh, hey, you guys, there we go. There's the blue I was talking about. Now it shows up. I don't like getting too deep with how I do my mixes, especially on my records. I don't like to share too many of my secrets, but let's go and let's play this mix. Now, if you notice, like I said, you see that I'm using the 9000 on every single channel. Both my guitars, left and right, I'm using the XL 9000. Let me see. Let's see what we have happening here. And I will do some more videos of me actually pulling it up, and I'll do some videos of me doing mixes. But I just kind of wanted to go through how I use the Softtube Console 1, and Fader 1 together. I'm very excited about future mixes with these two hardware devices. And I'll tell you, man. Well, and here's another feature that I like on it too. I know I'm excited, so it's a lot of things I'm trying to remember, but here's another feature that I really think is really cool, and that is the feature that allows you to be able to do the stereo spread. Hold on for a second. This allows you, of course that's in mono, but it allows you to do this stereo spread. Now it does it with the mono, but not that much if the sound is in mono. But it allows you to have this cool stereo spread that you could do. With the actual stem that's on that track, which I think is really cool. And even with bass, like I noticed when I pulled it up on bass, I've been able to do some real cool stuff with it. You know what I mean? Hold on. There we go. You can actually hear it on there. Can you hear that? There we go. Now watch this. Both ears, mono, stereo. That's pretty funky, man. Okay, you guys can hear that really good, right? Mono, stereo spread, width, more of the width, like you're getting that wideness and that's cool for like claps and bass. As far as I'm concerned, I like to take my claps and widen them up, you know what I mean? like I said, this is a song that's on my it's gonna be on my new album. It's coming out. Let me see. Yeah, I was trying to take that bass and do some things to it and see what I could do with it, but it does a little bit of something with it, but so what I'm doing is kind of messing with the stereo width just to see, you know, what it does. I haven't messed with that much, so you guys are seeing me do it on the fly. This is a record that I'm currently mixing right now, and I'm just happy to have this, man. This is awesome. It's great. It's a great addition to the studio. Anyone that's looking to do Softtube Console 1, my suggestions is definitely it's a way to go. Especially since they've released the Fader one. It's just a good addition to the family. You got the big brother here, the Console 1, and little brother or little sister here, I call it. And these two together are just awesome. You know, I like the fact that they have the transport, but it's assignable. You can assign it to anything you want, to do anything you want. But I like the fact that I can press play, and I can hit rewind, and start it over from the beginning. I can forward it if I want, you know. I mean, I think it's awesome because I get tired of having to touch the mouse and you know, and try to find a place to start it from the beginning to the end. That is so cool. You can page up and down on this. Of course, you can, you know, you can it has a fader mode, so you can go over to, you can have up to, I think they say three fader ones with this, but you have the banks, of course, you know, they put them in 10, so you can go over to the next 10 and the next 10. It took me a minute to kind of get used to, it's user friendly, but it just took me a minute to get used to going back and forth from the Console 1 to the Fader 1. But I tell you guys, this right here is definitely a winner in my book. Altogether, Softtube is a winner in my book. A friend of mine who is a award-winning platinum producer named Cohen Heldens. That's Koen Heldens. He is the one that actually introduced Console 1 to me, and he convinced me to take interest in Console 1. And I tell you, I thank him all the time when I talk to him, because it's definitely given my mixes just like night and day. And as a matter of fact, when I typically use nothing but Console 1 on my mixes. If you look across my screen, this is actually how I set my mixes up. Although I have a bus here in PreSonus with a few other things that I tie in together for my bus when I'm bussing the drums and keys and things like that. But for the most, if you look across my channel, you see Console 1 from the top, from the left side to the right side. So I literally use it on every channel. And I've never done that before. I'm typically, you know, using different plugins, but since I've had Console 1, it's all I use, and I'm very happy with Console 1. So if you're looking to get into Console 1, Softtube Console 1, Softtube Fader 1, it's the way to go. You will not be disappointed. Make sure you check out my new single, the one that I'm playing now. This will be out sometime here late November. My album, In the Key of Love, has charted for almost 97 weeks in the UK on the UK soul charts. And I predict that this song is going to do just as well in London, Japan, Spain, Germany, and all these other cool, Amsterdam, all these cool places that really love this, my music, the new funk era, and it's beautiful, you guys. Stone Paxton University. I'm going to go back to the other camera. Thank you for watching. I know I didn't get into detail with the mixing. I'll do another video where I'm actually mixing. This one I'm currently already in the mix, so I'll do another video that will showcase me actually using the plugins from scratch on each track and using Fader 1 and Console 1 to mix that. Okay? Stone Paxton University. That was Fader 1, Console 1, and how I use it on all my records, how I will continuously use it. Also, I'll do a video showing you how I use it in conjunction along with my SSL XL rack. Okay, make sure you like, subscribe, and click that bell right there to get all of my notifications for all of my future videos. Much love and peace. Stone Paxton University, and I'm out, you guys.